As a continuous enhancement to the rigid flex checks introduced in Valor NPI 2504, LPI solder masks can now be checked. Past versions considered only cover lay openings on the flex sections. Now, with version 2510, both cover lay and LPI are supported. This analysis validates any manufacturing constraints related to using solder mask in a flex area. There were 5 new checks added, so let's take a closer look at them. There were 2 checks added to look at mask-defined pads. One check will look at undrilled pads, while the other check looks at drilled pads. The use of solder mask-defined pads helps control soldering boundaries as well as improve pad adhesion. These checks measure the distance between the solder mask opening and the covered edge of the copper pad. There were also 2 checks added to look at non-solder mask defined pads. These checks are like the solder mask checks used on rigid-only designs, where the distance from the pad to the edge of the solder mask is measured. Checks for both drilled and undrilled pads are available. Having these checks for flex-only region allows the values to be different between the rigid and the flex sections. And finally, there is a new check to look for sufficient solder mask overlap to the cover lay edge. This overlap helps ensure proper protection against moisture, dust, and mechanical stress.